Good morning. It's time we go for our run.
Oh? Hello. Okay.
Okay, yeah, so that sounds good. I think, yeah, we'll do on the weekend and then it will be a nice thing and then we can just like maybe go get a glass of wine or something afterwards. So I think it'll be good. Okay, cool. Looking forward to it. I hope your coffee slaps today and I'll talk to you later. Sorry, I was just finishing off my voice note. But good morning. How rude of me. Um, 2 days ago I was having a rant about like feeling like I needed to reply to people and I care about them, but I just didn't reply. I have different types of people that I chat to, love them all. Some people I just literally it's just communication with voice notes. Other ones there's phone calls and some texting. Other ones it's just texting. And I think everyone can relate to it. You have different people that you use different modalities of communication with. And I started to think about voice notes a little bit deeper. It's the first time in history, I think, where us humans have recorded ourselves and sent it to someone else. Almost like a performance. But we also feel like we're alone when we're talking. It's like just me and the other person. However, that voice note stays on their phone. They can do what they want with it. And that's not to say that they're going to do anything bad with it, but it's just something where if I have a one on one conversation, if they had to go repeat it, yeah, they would just be gossiping or whatever. But there's something different about a voice note, I feel. It feels a little bit more intimate, also more lazy. I think I'm gonna dive into this a little bit deeper today. But I'm gonna eat my breakfast. I made a lot of oats today. I think I was too hungry yesterday. But today I've actually got a course for a few hours in the morning, a LinkedIn course. So that's gonna be interesting. I'm not really a LinkedIn girly, but maybe this era of my life I should be using LinkedIn. I don't know. So we'll see what this course has to offer. So, what's the laziest way to send the most personal version of yourself? I could argue that that's a voice note. Um, it's so much easier to send a voice note when you're either lying down flat on the floor or walking somewhere or driving somewhere. It's so much easier to just shoot them a voice note instead of a text. However, when we convey our message with our voice, the other person hears our emotions, our tone, our pauses, all of those kind of things, the background noise. I don't know if you can hear, there's like a generator going on here. But you would hear all of those intimate details about our life, which don't necessarily get conveyed when you send a text. Or I guess one would argue that a phone call maybe, but I feel like a phone call tends to sometimes you have a time limitation on it. Whereas a voice note, time is kind of taken away because the end user can speed it up if they choose or slow it down if they choose. So it's a very intimate way to portray a message to another. So I've been at the office for a bit and almost going to go to my course. The problem, I have a predicament. So I usually have my coffee at around the time the course is. So I can have my coffee while I'm at the course. However, the coffee machines here at Delft, we do get free coffee, all have oat milk. And I already had like 2 kilograms of oats for breakfast. I don't really want oat milk in my coffee, and it also makes coffee taste gross. So I usually bring my own cow's milk or whole milk, they call it. But does that mean I have to carry a mug of milk across campus to my thing? I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Anyway, look at this. This cup belongs to Bianca. Pretty cool. Oh. Thank you. So voice notes are a kind of self-performance. We are presenting a version of ourselves to people, and we know it. We know it perfectly because sometimes we delete it, sometimes we keep it, sometimes we change something, sometimes we do this kind of stuff. It is all performance-based. It's real, very real, but we know which version of ourselves we are sending to different people. Okay, so we finished our course. It was average, I'd have to say. Like, it seems, I don't know, I feel like if you're online quite a lot, it seems obvious the kind of things that he was saying. I was like, does everyone not know this? And it's like simple things like have a profile picture that you can see properly on LinkedIn. So, I don't know. I'm not a LinkedIn expert, nor am I an online expert, but maybe people don't know that, and maybe I'm assuming that like that's the case. Anyway, let's get back to our topic of the day. And we were talking earlier about how these voice notes are quite intimate. Now, one of the things about it is that it's intimate for someone who's sending it, but the receiver, there's something that changes when you receive a voice note. You can't just skim the text, you actually have to listen to it. And there's something about like I think transcripts were WhatsApp allows you to transcribe it. So actually take using AI, taking speech to text, so you can actually transcribe the voice notes. And that's because sometimes it becomes difficult to actually listen to it. And it's not just difficult to be like, oh, I don't have 4 minutes of time to look at it. I'd rather just skim a text, or to listen. Sorry, I'd rather just skim a text. But it's also that you can't preview it before you answer it. So once you open it, you've read it, and the person knows that you've read it, unless you've got read receipts turned off or whatever. But there's something different in it with the text. Text, you can usually like hold it down and view or kind of preview what the text is before you're actually ready to reply. And that is different with a voice note. And that means that some people find it quite emotionally taxing. That's maybe a strong way to put it. But for me, I find it quite like, I don't know what this person is saying. I don't know what they're asking of me because I can't preview it before I actually look at it. And I know that might be a bad thing, but it is a little bit of anxiety inducing. It's a little bit, like it can feel vulnerable for the sender, but it can also feel quite overwhelming. That's the right word, like overwhelming for me to receive that voice note. I love it because I get to hear the person more, but it is quite overwhelming when you feel like you have to reply. And that's kind of the society we live in. Even though friends are not like that, there is an element of that. Okay, I am now going to go back to work. Yeah. So we're back in the office now. My brain couldn't read today. I felt too distracted. So now it is mostly coding. So I'm trying to show my supervisors what I found in the best way possible. And my background is more of an architectural engineer. Well, that's what I spent the past few years doing. So I'm just going to build them some interactive thing, and they can play with it and they can see kind of the results that I've found. Instead of me just trying to tell them. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing right now. I'm really craving chips though. This is how the red roads look before they become the bicycle lane. So it is home time. I'm tired, but I could have done more, but I stopped myself because we are trying not to overwork. As we normally fall into habits when you code, you're just like, no, I can finish it, and then it's 3 hours later. So yeah, being a little bit more conscious of that when I do my PhD now. But if we go back to the topic of voice, what were we talking about? Voice notes. I think this, like I said before, was like the first time in history. I remember we had like voicemail, but I feel like that was a little bit different because that was just like, hey, please call me back. Rather than now, it seems like it's the first time we're archiving our laugh. We're archiving this kind of stuff for future use. Like, what's going to happen in 50 years? So we're effectively leaving these like audio footprints. Like, it could be with people that we love and care about and trust. And I think it would be quite cool to look back in a few years and be like, wow, did I sound different? What topics were I talking about? But I think there's also, if it gets into the wrong hands or people you don't trust anymore, what happens with that? I think it's something interesting to think about. Because this didn't exist 50 years ago. And in 50 years, if we're still alive, touch wood, we're going to have to be navigating this space with this data that we've generated. It's quite crazy to think about. Oh, look at this bicycle seat. It's like basically growing plants in it. How trippy is that? Can you see? What? Okay, I haven't filmed anything since I got home actually, but it is, what is the time? It's 7:21. I've edited the vlog, I've eaten, I've washed the kitchen, and now I'm gonna put these clothes away. Usually I leave it here for way too long. Like it becomes the day before I'm gonna do washing. I'm like, oh, it'd be nice to have my place where I don't have like two things of washing chilling in the place. So I'm gonna put it away, and today's Wednesday, so that means a few days with this not hanging there. I might be able to get in bed really early. I feel like such an old person, but like usually I'm in bed rushing, need to go fall asleep. So now I get a like, I think it was the fact that I cooked dinner yesterday and had enough for today, so I didn't have to do any cooking. So I've got a lot more time today. So yeah, let me do that while I'm listening to music. It's good, life is good. So many room for activities. We have no clothes. Hello, good evening. It is not as late as usual. It's like 8 o'clock now, so this is gonna be such a 21st century. I should read my book. But I'm probably gonna sit on TikTok. I haven't sat on TikTok in a while. That sounds so disgusting that I'm saying that, but it just like rots my brain, and I feel like I need a little bit of a brain rot. I've been thinking too much. So I'm just gonna do it. I judge myself, so you don't even need to judge me. So this thought experiment is called Future Version, and I quite like it. It's 2093. A team of researchers is training an empathy model on historical voice data, trying to teach it how humans used to sound when they cared. One intern stumbles onto a data set of voice notes from the 2020s. Casual, clumsy, real. People walking, whispering, venting, laughing. And in the middle of it, your voice. Saved from some chat app archive you never remembered agreeing to. You're laughing, you're rambling, you're trying to explain something you don't fully understand. They listen to you. Not because they know you, but because it's your voice. And it's still there. And the strangest part, you never meant for it to be remembered. You were just tired of typing. Genuinely, this will probably happen in the future. How crazy is that? Anyway, it's time for me to rot. Well, Duolingo then rot. Sleep nicely, see you tomorrow. I'm just lying in bed, rotting. Just above my head. That's gonna be fun.